Do you think it's possible to open a car lot with only $50,000?
Follow-up question that I asked is, are you talking about a cash, or are you going to be getting a floor plan, that type of thing? And said it's a cash lot, no financing, no dealer financing.
I can tell you how much I opened. I started being a car dealer with. For me, I had $9,500 and a Mazda 626 that I paid $800 for. That's what I started my car dealership with. Never took any debts. We're 14 years in now, and we have the capital to be able to probably put 200 to 250 cars on our lot if we wanted to spend that much on it. But yeah, you can absolutely do it with that amount. The problem with it is that everything is more expensive now than it was 14 years ago, obviously. And it depends on how many cars that you want to have on your lot also. Because if you want to have $10,000 cars, well, you can only buy 4 and then have the other $10,000 left over for your running expenses. So that's going to be very difficult. So if you have $50,000, you want to start a car dealership, you're probably going to be stuck with buying cars that are like mine, $5,000 and under, and be able to do that. Now, what I will say is that with $50,000, you're not giving yourself a whole lot of cushion to mess up. And I didn't have any cushion to mess up when I started, and I don't know if it's luck, I don't know if it's just pure determination, whatever I had that helped me through all that. But there was some stressful times, and we were able to push through it. And the cushion that I had was that my wife had a big girl job that actually paid good money. So if everything went to zero for me selling cars, then we still were able to pay our bills. We're still broke. I mean, we wouldn't be comfortable at all. And we would have had to figure out something. I would have had to get a 9-to-5 job doing something. But we made it work. And so it is possible, but I don't like that you're not going to have very much cushion if something were to go bad. So I would prefer that you save up a little bit more money than that before you get started. And it all goes back to, it depends on how many and how expensive of a car that you want to have stocked on your lot. With $50,000, you're only going to be able to have $5,000 cars on your lot, because I mean that's how much money you have, and that's only 10 cars. So and that's with no cushion whatsoever. And let's say you make $1,000 a car with $5,000 cars, you're probably only going to be able to make about $1,000 a car. So say you turn over your whole lot in 1 month, you're only making a gross profit of $10,000, and you're going to have expenses come out of that. You're going to have probably a building. You're going to have all that lease that you're going to have to pay. You're going to have power. You're going to have licensing. You're going to have your registration stuff that you got to pay. So that $10,000 gross profit probably looks somewhere. I mean, advertising is very expensive, and you got to have it. There's no way around it. You got to have advertising. You got to be on Car Gurus. You got to be on OfferUp. You got to be on all the places. And that takes extra software. So you got to pay for that too. And all this stuff. So that $10,000 gross profit probably looks somewhere like $3,000 profit in your pocket every month. So if you're happy making $36,000 a year, then sign up for it. There you go.
I got to tell you, I think it would be less net than that,
you
even
think so?
With no employees. Because also, if you're
if you're only selling 10 cars a month, then you don't have to have employees for that.
No, but you do have to close to go to the auctions if you don't have someone to buy, that kind of thing. So, I mean, you remember those times.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
And the other side to that, excuse me, is when Brandon started, he wasn't the main dealer. It wasn't under his license. It was under his grandfather. So that was another area of cushion, because he didn't have to come up with the bonding and the insurance cost up front and the licensing and all of that stuff. And I just built Excel spreadsheets to get by instead of the dealer software. But if you don't have something pretty robust, you're not going to be able to track what you're making, and you need to know what you're making on every car. A lot of dealers will put a blanket straight amount on every car and just assume probably recon and this and that cost about this much. And so they'll just put a straight number on it. We've never done that. You need to know what each car costs, because you need to know which ones you make money, which ones you lose money. There's a lot more that can go into some of that. And it's takes time and it takes money, and probably not a livable wage. Most businesses, when you start them, they're not going to be profitable at all for years.
Yeah, it's like something like 5 years before you're supposed to actually turn a profit when you start a brand new business. And that was one major benefit that I had, is a good point from her, is that I didn't have to. I mean, I paid. I think I paid like half the rent whenever I started selling cars with my grandfather, but I didn't have to go get my dealer's license as soon as I actually started buying and selling cars, because my grandfather had a dealership, and I was fortunate enough that he allowed me to buy and sell under his dealer's license. So that was one big step forward that I had, that I'll, like, you probably don't have the luxury to be able to have, and that saved me a lot of money right at the gate. And you have to say, okay, you got this $50,000. Are you okay after the first year of you doing this that you still only have that $50,000 and that's it, and you don't grow any at all and don't put any money in your pocket? If you're okay working for free, or maybe best case scenario making $36,000 in the first year, go for it. I mean, after 5 years, you can maybe do something good and start making a lot of money, but it's hard right in the beginning. It's hard now. Like, even with everything that we have built up, it's hard now. I wouldn't recommend that anyone become a car dealer right now. It's one of the hardest times in my 14-year period of doing this. Right now is the hardest time that we've ever had in the car market. Not even close. There's not even a close second. Right now is the hardest that we've ever experienced.
Yep. And you have to reinvest every penny, and it's hard to do that.
Yep.
There's a lot that needs to line up. Wish you luck. Also, maybe some other options. It's tough.
Yeah. Can I interest you in being an accountant?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Back to the
drawing board. Yeah. Yeah. Find a different profession. Make some videos for YouTube. That's been a lot easier than running a car business.
And if you do go that route, one more little tip: make sure you know the paperwork.
Oh yeah, you can get big time in trouble if you don't do everything exactly how you're supposed to do it, and that's easy fines and easy shutdowns. So you could go spend that $50,000, and then the inspector, the DMV inspector, come in there and be like, okay, you're doing a couple of these things wrong. We're going to let you off easy this time. And it's only going to be a $10,000 fine. Next time you're going to be in trouble. But right now we're just going to let you off easy with this $10,000 fine.
And you'll get surprise, audits and things like that too. And you just have to always be ready for it.
Yep. Lots
of rules. Ever thought of opening a service department to save money on repairs and to create another stream of income?
No, the thing about, like, we buy and sell cars, and that's really the only way we make money at our dealership. Opening up a different line of business brings a whole different line of stress, and servicing cars is a whole different animal. It's completely different than buying and selling cars. And what I will say too is that to be able to have service bays and to actually take on a lot of mechanical work, you have to hire mechanic people who are going to work on cars. And what I know about mechanics from dealing with them for the last 14 years of my life is that mechanics are not the most pleasant people to be around for the most part. And I will say that I've met some very pleasant mechanics, but they are the vast minority of mechanics. So I don't want to be in a business where I have to hire people that I might not like. So that's a new level of stress that I don't want to bring about in my life, and don't want my wife to hear me complaining about. I was about to use a mechanic's name that I used to know.
Nope. Nope. I don't even know which one you're talking about, but I know one of three, and I don't need to hear any of those names.
So no. This is not something that I want to do. And if you're a mechanic out there, I'm sorry, but you're not pleasant, and I don't like you. I'm sorry. I'm sure you're wonderful, especially if you're watching us. You're probably a delightful person. I'm sure you have all of your teeth, and you can enunciate words very clearly. But that's you're the minority, sir, or madam. Yep.
Great. We do have a mechanic, and I'm currently typing apologies in there.
How many teeth you got?
No, it's not. This is irrelevant to car repair. So.
Yeah.
Okay, so one other thing to say is that when you hire a mechanic, while we haven't done that in a while, it's going to be easy to have turnover in the kind of place where we are, and we really like having our mechanic shop of a guy that we know that's not just working on our cars. He's doing a whole bunch of stuff that we're not asking him to do, because he's got his whole own his shop going, and I feel like the knowledge base is probably going to be better than someone that we're going to be able to hire at our size of a business.